Hey guys, welcome back to Young Americans Abroad. My name is Austin.
And my name is Patrick.
And guys, welcome to the show. Well, guys, it's great to be back this week. And Pat, we had such an awesome summer, rooting on our boys in the red, white, and blue. But now it's time to get back to club football.
Yeah, it's about that time, Austin. So, again, stay tuned for those great weekly soccer reports coming back soon. But we just have a lot to go over, Austin, with, like you said, we're still riding away from that Gold Cup Nations League wins, those trophies. Now some of our players, getting new numbers to new club situations. A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. We even had Josh Sargent transfer to Norwich City today.
That's right.
Big time move, something we're really excited about. And, I think we'll get to talking about here in the next few weeks or so. So, we're really excited to get back into the swing of things. And, with that, we thought today we'd take a look at, 5 breakout players for this upcoming season. So, I think we put this list together, over the past week and have some exciting names on it today. So, I guess we can't give any spoilers out, but we're really excited about it. So
No, yeah, absolutely excited, and no order as well, guys. By the way, so 1 through 5 there, and it was tough. We went back and forth. There's a lot of players, young Americans applying to trade over with new clubs, making the move to Europe. I mean, aside the list, Buzio, Tessino, those recent news, just mentioned Sargent. There's so many players now vying for that final spot in World Cup qualifying and hopefully for the World Cup roster in Qatar.
Yeah, and it makes our jobs here at Young Americans Abroad very fun and very, interactive. So, we can't wait for the new season. So I think to start the video today, we're going to go into our first player who, could be, the best USMNT player of all time. I think he has that ceiling, that potential, and that would be Gio Reyna. So, Gio Reyna had a good season last year, his first full professional season at Borussia Dortmund, scored 7 goals and had 6 assists in 46 games for BVB. And, is still only 18 years old. So, how crazy is that? We still have, a really exciting prospect, and he's only 18 years old and already has a full season under his belt. Crazy. So this, coming into this year, he was given the number 7 jersey after Jadon Sancho left. And I think that's really just, really a sign of what's to come for him this year. I think the club is really moving in the direction with him as, one of their star players. They have Erling Haaland right now, still have Marco Reus, but I really think Gio Reyna is one of those players that they're going to rely on this year. And that's really exciting. And I think it's going to set him up to, have this platform to launch himself into one of the best players, in the world. I really do. This year, Dortmund have a new coach, Marco Rosa. And, in preseason, they've been trying out a few different, formations, few different, ways they're playing, different tactics. And this year they have Gio kind of playing in, a 4-man diamond in midfield. So he's played kind of in the middle. He's also played on the left and the right a little bit, but more, reserved back in that true midfield position. Like we said last year, Pat, where we like seeing him, not out in the wing, kind of in the middle of the park where he can create and kind of get forward, go by players and take balls on the half turn and really does what, he does best. So I'm really excited about where they're playing him this year. I really think that's going to set him up to do, really big things and be a key player for them. This past weekend, he created 5 chances in, Dortmund's big 3-0 win in the DFB Pokal over Weah Wiesbaden. And if you didn't get to see this game, Pat, he was a fantastic, he had a fantastic game. He was really just electric all game and going by players, setting up Erling Haaland. Should have had a few assists that, unfortunately things didn't go his way. So I'm really excited. I think Gio Reyna is primed for a big season. And I guess what say you, Pat? Do you agree with this?
I agree. Wholeheartedly I agree, Austin. You got the new number. It just seems like he was given the keys to that Dortmund car, on the Autobahn. No speed limit, right? You go full throttle. That was a terrible but anyway, no, he's he's going to do fantastic, Austin. And like what you just said with the midfield position, right? That's so crucial, being that true midfield in the center, doing so many things, whether it's creating, tracking back. He has the grit to be in there and really make an impact and kind of connect the dots there and get more assists to Haaland, which is great. But yeah, it's just a really good situation going in. Dortmund had a kind of an, I don't even know how you call it, volatile, you could say, season last year. It was just kind of strange, but it just seems like Reyna has the footing, this full preseason now, going into the season with a great start and just doing so well for his nation, Austin. I mean, the sky's really the limit, and this could be and a reason why he's on this list. This could be it, with the qualifiers, Dortmund, he could go anywhere, I think, in the future.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that you brought that point up. They didn't have the best season last year. I know a lot of people remember their run in the Champions League. I think they made it all the way to the quarterfinals, Pat, and ended up losing and falling out of that tournament. But they almost didn't even make Europe this past year, where they finished in the Bundesliga. They were really struggling in those final weeks to stay in contention for Europe this coming season. So I think we kind of forget that. We had, they had a better finish to the season, but they really kind of fell apart halfway through. And obviously their coach was fired last year. Edin Terzic came in and did a decent job. I thought he did okay for the situation that he was given. And I really just think with Marco Rosa this year, a coach that has a pretty good pedigree, came from Salzburg, went to Gladbach, really got them playing well. And, I think he's just going to help motivate this Dortmund team and Gio Reyna. So I got a little prediction for you, Pat. And I think,
let's hear it.
I think it's a good one. So I think, this year, Gio trying to take that next step, looking to be more of the all-around player. I think his goal this year should be 10 goals and 10 assists for Dortmund.
Ooh.
So that's what I predict for him. I think, if he gets more than that, more power to him. But I think that should be the floor for him this year.
I like it. I think you have to aim high. No complaints there. 100% agree. And I was going to quickly add, he's saying the new coach, Marco Rosa, almost close to Marco Reus.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited for Reyna here. And, with that said, this next player on the list, Austin, I mean, also really
another
excited.
good one.
I mean, he is already breaking out, you could say. He's ahead of the list, but that's Konrad de la Fuente. So, just starting, from that previous situation in Barca, right? He really, from La Masia, worked his way up, got in with the B team there. And then you could see, just this past season was on the fringes, right, with that first team. I think he made 2 appearances in the Champions League there, but really featured more prominently for Barca's B team there, especially in the second half of that campaign, helping them reach the playoffs, right? So it's just difficult alternating between those two teams and different situations there in training, as well as, the arrivals of Aguero, Depay, Fati, all those other talented players.
You have Messi there too. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Maybe you'll play against Konrad. Who knows?
Yeah. Ooh, good foreshadowing, yeah.
Foreshadowing, exactly. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good situation. And he's said it time and time again. He wants to be a part of this qualifying team. He wants to be part of the group. He definitely can. And with the World Cup coming up so soon in that prime age, perfect move to Marseille, Austin, for 4 years there. And I think that's a great situation there. In Ligue 1, a team that finished, I think, 5th there and had the fewest amount of goals there for the top 5 teams in the league. And their +7 goal differential, but it was pretty atrocious too. But with that standing, also has some Europa League games, as well as, again, fighting to get into that Champions League spot there. So just a really great opportunity for a winger there that in his prime there to play consistent minutes, Austin, in league action. And like I mentioned, with all those different cups and tournaments. And not to mention, right, his preseason form with that turn and finish for that goal. I mean, he was a highlight reel, Austin. He hit the ground running there in France, and a lot of people were worried, right? You were thinking, oh, can Konrad, really do it big time for a first team, at this level? He did well for Barca B, but we haven't really seen much, and he's really proving the doubters wrong, Austin. I'm really proud of him for that start so far.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing from my point of view, is to see kind of how he did at Marseille right from the start, because he's a player that's very polished for a youth player, right? Like, he grew up in that Barcelona academy, was really playing with professionals for the past 2 years with Barca B. And, I really think he was more mature than maybe his, transfer value, market value, where his standing was, I guess, in the soccer world. So, my hope was that Marseille would give him, a very fair chance at cracking that starting lineup right from the start, and that's what we saw. And ever since then, Konrad's really taken advantage of that opportunity. And I think like you said, Pat, I think big things are expected from him this year, and I think he's motivated too. I think he really wanted to get more playing time last year at Barcelona. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. This year, like you said, some players came in. There wasn't really a spot for him on the depth chart. So, hey, he had to kind of take matters into his own hands, and now he's at Marseille in France. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell, and that's a great point. You tell even in the interview too. I think you had with Lyon there. He took that calculated kind of risk. He knew it was somewhere where he had to really push and challenge, but somewhere again that he'd get that high level exposure, high quality competition there. So very well thought out, and a huge move for someone that's been in that Barca structure there for so long. But with that being said, I also wanted to touch on recently, right? They just opened up the season, and Konrad again was a force down that left wing side there, starting the game. Just his one-on-one vision and his creativity there for a beautiful assist, down 2-0 there, and they turned it around for that win against Montpellier, which is great. But also he was also featured in the team of the week there in Ligue 1, so
That's
not
right.
a bad start. Not a bad start at all. But yeah,
great start.
Yeah, fantastic start. And just here, Austin, we're hyping it up. I mean, the hype's here, is breaking out. Let's talk about the projection here and the prediction for the season. So I'm really thinking he's going to have a mix of goals and assists. I would even go closer to 8, maybe 9 goals, 6 or 7 assists. That might be lofty, but I think it's possible. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, hey, he's already got one in the bag. So yeah.
Right.
No, I agree. I think he's a player that has goals in him. He's also a player that can create and set up other players. So yeah, I really think, it really depends on what playing time he's going to get. Right now, he's off to a great start and getting a lot of playing time. So, yeah, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. I think, 9 goals and 7 assists, that's a good goal to aim for. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to quickly add to Austin. I mean, with that form, the way he's going, I don't think you can leave him off the World Cup qualifiers there. He has so much value there. It's a lot of competition, but he's definitely a needed asset.
Well, one player that's in competition with him for these World Cup qualifiers coming up in September is Matt Hoppe. So hey, Matt Hoppe did such a great job this summer at the Gold Cup. Really was just a lot of fun to watch. He's a player that brings so many different qualities to the pitch. And, I don't want to spoil some of our recent videos, but I'll say we ranked him very highly in our striker evaluation video. And, I just think, going forward, he's going to have such a future with the USMNT. And again, some of those qualities he provides, he's very energetic, has that great fighting demeanor, is really good technically and also very creative, has so many good ideas with, what to do with the ball, either at his feet or when the ball's played to him. Really just, is a really bright player. Makes some good runs, is very tall. Hey, that's always a plus. And just can also play across, all positions in attack. So we saw him a lot at winger in the Gold Cup. I think we're going to see him, if he stays at Schalke, as a striker a lot this season.
That's the big question.
Yeah, I guess, that is the big question, Pat. So, right now we're really unsure whether or not he'll stay, in Germany. some teams that have been linked with him are Arsenal, Tottenham, Everton, Ajax. That last one, Ajax, is a pretty neat little link there. So I would love to see him play in the Eredivisie. I think he really has the qualities that players in the Dutch league, players that excel in the Dutch league have. So that's really exciting. But I think we're going to have to see, Pat. I think more will be decided in this next week or so. He just arrived back at Schalke for training this past week. So yeah, I think we'll see what happens. No matter what, we put him in this video for a reason. I think whether he stays at Schalke or goes somewhere else, I really just think he's going to mature. He's going to grow a lot more this year as a player. He really only has a half season under his belt as a professional. So I think any environment he's in, he's going to be, soaking up all the information, all the knowledge, all the skills and experience that he can to, take his game to the next level. And who knows, Pat, I think it's going to work out at the club level for him this year. But even not, I think he's going to be a crucial part of this, a World Cup qualifying cycle. Right. I really just think he brings a lot of qualities that we're going to be, looking for in these games. And he would be a great super sub, in my opinion. So, I guess what are your thoughts on Matt Hoppe's season this year?
Yeah, I was going to say, we already won that Gold Cup, Austin. No worries.
Right.
But, Hoppe, I mean, even if he stays at Schalke, Austin, I mean, there's a lot of quality in that 2 Bundesliga. And we've even seen, not a great comparison for player position, right? But Julian Green go up, and you've seen a lot of other, American and just other top quality German players there. If Schalke can really compete to be in that position, so I don't think that's a bad move at all. And again, having that, like you said, that first really full professional season, first team under his belt, notching a ton of goals in the second Bundesliga wouldn't be a bad thing, but. We'll see. I mean, his stock is high, right, Austin? I'm sure a lot of teams, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I love the Ajax shout. So I think that's a really intriguing move. I don't want him to go to like an Arsenal or Everton. It just gives me a bad feeling. I think he can get there. I really do. I think he's a solid player that could maybe one day play kind of in that mid or low tier Premier League. I think that would be a great goal. But it'll be interesting to see, Austin. And like you said, he's on this list for a reason. He has all the tangibles that you want in a striker.
Yeah. And I do think, a bigger club will come calling for him in the future. But, I think right now he really just needs to find a place where he can get consistent playing time. If that's Schalke, then maybe that's okay. But I really think he should look to go somewhere else. I think.
You think that ship's done? Too many holes in the ship?
I don't know. It's just. They've started off the season okay, so I really thought, they were going to struggle right out the gate. But I don't know. It's just so volatile. We talked about, Dortmund having a volatile season last year. Well, Schalke had, the epitome of volatile. So, I just don't want him to get in a situation like Josh Sargent kind of found himself in at Bremen. And, now he, was able to get out. So I just think, as soon as Matt Hoppe can, might be the best decision for him. So, I will make a prediction, though. If he stays in the 2 Bundesliga, I think he should definitely shoot for something like 10 goals and 5 assists. They have some other strikers that are pretty experienced and will probably get a lot of playing time. So I think it's really going to be kind of him, rotating around the top 3 again, the top 3 positions as a winger, even a wide midfielder and striker. I really just think, that could be his goal in the 2 Bundesliga. If he goes elsewhere, then like I said, it depends on what situation he lands himself in. I think, again, his goal should be to make those World Cup qualifying rosters all fall. We have qualifiers in September, October, and November, 3 each window. So it's going to be a lot of games. And I really just think his goal should be to get on those rosters and really just, outperform the other players in attack. I think we've got some options, Pat, but, there is a lot to still be, decided in our USMNT depth chart.
Yeah, a lot to be decided, but he's right there, Austin. It's wide open there, especially with that position. So only time will tell, but we're rooting for him. And shifting gears here to another player, Austin, that has had quite a up and down past 2 years. Somebody that kind of flew under the radar, injury plagues, and now is a Ligue 1 winner here. And that's Tim Weah. So awesome. It could be Timo time. I think it might be Timo time here, which is why he's on the list. I mean,
finally again.
finally. From that lost 1920 season, right? And a slow and steady grind back to the top, winning Ligue 1 for Lille there, and coming off the bench, making an impact. That difference maker, honestly, in the second half of games there. He only scored 3 goals there in 827 minutes, but it's great to see him, with a team that had such high quality talent, youth, as well as some veterans there, especially in that attacking end. And I certainly think, again, that was the goal, right? He was so fragile, injured, had really brutal injuries. To come back, slow and steady. But now I think this is the season where he needs to, again, break in, put it all together. He's still yet to have a season where he's cracked over 1,000 minutes and really play regularly, right, at that top club level. So with that being said, right, Lille still has a pretty solid squad. From I think Jonathan Bamba, Renato Sanchez, who's had an interesting career. Are huge. There's still really huge talents there in the midfield, and then obviously Jonathan David alongside Yilmaz, who the ancient one I think you mentioned or referred to, Kane out there at the field, right? But he hit 8 goals last season, so we'll see if there's another season of magic there. But it'll be interesting to see. Weah needs to break in that lineup. I certainly think he can do it. Especially with the departures there of certain players not bringing in as many, maybe that new coach situation as well, right? With Gourvan there. So I'll be curious to see. There are some financial shambles there, the league as a whole and Lille, a little bit concerning, but I would say the silver lining in that is, right, they haven't brought in too many high other quality talent, paid huge transfer fees and sums there. So I think, Tim's right there, knocking on the door.
Yeah, and I think we really back him this season just because of all his, his physical qualities. He's such a fast player, a player that makes such good runs into the box. And I just think, all his hard work over the past few years, getting back, consistently getting minutes, staying healthy, things like that, I really just think will pay off this year. I really think you're going to see them sell another player up top, whether that's, Jonathan David or one of their wingers. I just think, like you said, with the financial situation, with just where they're at and how they like to do business, I really just see one of them leaving, maybe this summer, maybe in the winter. So I really just think that's going to free up a lot more minutes, a lot more opportunity for Tim Weah to get in that starting lineup more consistently. And then it's, up to him, just like it is with Konrad and all these other players we're talking about today. It's going to be up to him to, make the most of this, next opportunity and really prove to, their coach there in Lille that he's a player that needs to start every game and, can score and provide assists. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think he's going to play a big part again in World Cup qualifying and be a player that, we're going to use in, a lot of different scenarios and in a lot of different positions. So I'm just really excited about Tim. He's always such a great, bundle of joy, excitement, and just a great, presence to have around.
Yeah, you just have to root for him too, Austin. Yeah, just a humble guy. Everyone gravitates towards him, and just his story, where he's gone, to win the title there. And again, like you said, it's his for the taking as well. I mean, this new coach.
Can we pause real quick, Pat? He's won 3 different titles with 3 different teams already, by the age of 21.
He's a trophy merchant.
He won a title with Celtic, and now he won one with Lille. Like, that's crazy, man. That's so, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't happen very often. So
no, and exactly why he neds to be on the World Cup qualifying roster and in Qatar if we get there.
Yeah, it's a valuable experience.
Really valuable experience, Austin. I mean, yeah, he, like you said before, the skill set he has when he is injury-free, he's fit, he just provides such a unique and different element to the attack. Where he can really change, come on and change a game with his movement, his pace, right, and just finding ways behind the back line, as well as his creativity. He just has that those unique traits, which I think, again, it's a long season, right? I'm not wishing an injury upon anyone, but there's a lot of, things that happen during seasons and different games and cups, especially now, right, with out of Champions League. A lot of time for him to cement himself in the start. So with that, I think our boy Timo, it's his time, Austin. And I'm going to do a little bit different of a prediction, right? We're talking goals and assists, but we just, referred back to he hasn't really hit the 1,000 minutes yet. I think he's going to get close to doubling that. If, doubling right at that 2,000, I think that should be a great goal, and certainly one I think he can hit. And with that, I think would come, a handful, maybe not 10 goals, 10 assists, but, I wouldn't be surprised if he's, above 5 or 6 for both.
Yeah, that's a good prediction, Pat. I like it too, because it's very specific to him. It's very specific to his situation. And I think we know the quality he has. So it's not really that, that's not really the question. It's just that level of fitness, that, ability to stay healthy for a long stretch of time. And again, capitalize on the opportunity he's given this year. So I like that prediction. I think that fits very well. So
Timo time.
Timo time. That's right, man. It's he's such a fun player to root for and really just watch and enjoy. So it'd be cool to see him play. The final player I'm excited to see play this year is Joe Scally on Borussia Mönchengladbach. So again, if you don't know Joe Scally, he's a player that got a lot of playing time for the U17s a few years ago. Really was, known for being Gio Reyna's best friend there at NYCFC, as they grew up together. And, he moved to Germany last year, trained with their first team all spring, played a lot of games for their 2 team there. Still is 18 years old. I believe his birthday is on December 31st. So, was born right before the New Year hit.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's kind of cool. He can play a lot of different positions, defensively. He can play as a right back primarily, can also play left back, and really has the body type, the frame to play center back as well. So I wouldn't rule that out. I think, that's something that could help us, even in qualifying if we see him, advance this season, get more experience. I really think if we play at a 3, play in a 3 at the back system, he could be a cool option as like a right-sided center back. So we'll see what happens this year at Gladbach. I think, again, the assets he has, he's very tall, he's very mobile for the person, the size that he has, the physicality that he has. And I really just think his skills really translate well to the Bundesliga. Bundesliga players play very concretely. They have a very good blend of attacking and also defensive skills, especially, those outside backs. And I really just think Joe Scally is kind of perfectly made for the Bundesliga. So, again, I think some things he needs to work on a little bit are, just his patience, picking his spots of when to get forward and when to get back, being patient when he's defending, not committing too quickly, and stepping too soon. But overall, Pat, I think he's had a fantastic start to the preseason, has really gotten a lot of minutes for Gladbach. Actually started their DFB Pokal game, their first game of the season this past weekend, and looked really well, looked really good, created a chance, actually almost scored a goal, actually pushed Lars Stindl into the ball that when, wound up going into the net. Also won 6 duels and had 5 interceptions on the day. So it was really just, an all-around menace on the field. And I'm excited for him. I really think Gladbach regard him highly as a prospect. I know there's some, outside backs that they have at the club who he's going to be, really competing hard with to get minutes, but I like his chances. I think he's really started out, out of the gate strong this season, and again, has all those physical skills and is, quickly learning and gaining experience abroad to make for, this being a good debut season for him.
I like it, Austin, and I'll be honest, going back NYCFC there, I really wasn't high on him to start, and maybe, again, just being too critical right at an early age, but man, has he really changed my opinion. And again, like you said, just the tools that he has, the physicality, his even technical skills, just being at this high level, such a quick rate to be able to adapt. And it definitely does help too. And I think your boy Gio Reyna said, you shouldn't have a problem there in the Bundesliga. So I think that was on an article or an interview there. So that was kind of, yeah, Austin, I think, yeah, Gladbach's that's a big team. That's a very big team. So I mean, to be able to do just what he's doing right now, to even be in this position, is unbelievable and merits him being on this list. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that's really changed for him, in my mind, is just he's really gotten mentally tough. Again, we don't want to be too hard on some of these younger players, but
Right.
the thing with him playing at the U17 World Cup, even in some of the the U17 games, it just seemed like at times he got a little too rash. He again was a little too quick to commit. Wasn't really picking his spots, in my opinion, at the right times, and it was a little bit frustrating, I'll say, as a fan. But really, when he went to Germany, he got some playing time, I believe. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but going to Germany, going abroad, embracing that German culture, really having to work hard to get that opportunity with their first team, I really think just has helped shape him even more, and really has just been something that drives and motivates him. And yeah, it looks like he's very confident and really enjoying life over there at Gladbach. So like you said, great opportunity for him. I think this year a good goal for him would be to play right around 1,500 minutes. I think again, he's not probably, unless this happens, and that'd be great, but I really don't think he's going to be a true starter this year. I think he's going to be a rotation guy, a guy who gets minutes, in the Pokal, comes on as, late game subs, gets that start here or there. But I think that's perfect for this season for him. And I really think 1,500 minutes is obtainable. They're not in Europe this year, so a little disappointing, unless maybe they're in the new European.
Oh, that's right. The new structure there.
I can't remember. I know they were close last year. So, yeah, that's bad on me, I guess, for not doing my research. But no, I think he's going to get, a good amount of minutes this year. And who knows? Maybe he's a guy that makes, that 2022 World Cup team and can help give us some solidity at the back. I mean, heck, right back's very loaded right now, but that left back position, there is an opportunity, I'd say, right now. So
yeah, being flexible is fantastic too, and I agree with the prediction. I think, I think it's certainly high, but again, I'm being an optimist too, and just clearing that 1,000, 1,200 would be unbelievable, I think, and again, a club of that pedigree, that'd be fantastic. So I'm just so excited for him, and to really see a player, break out, with that team, I think will be, kind of interesting too, because we did have one of the old USMNT guys there, right, Austin?
Yeah, Fabian Johnson, who's still without a club. Very crazy. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Maybe retired and just didn't tell anyone. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, it'll be good to see someone back there at Gladbach. And yeah. So that's our list for today. 5 breakout stars that we think are primed to have great seasons, Pat. Nothing more to really be said. That's our
nothing more to be said. And with that, with those breakout players to even more the reports, just make sure to check us out, right, on social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that great quality content. There'll be more goals and more assists coming here. That's right. And also, like this video, subscribe to our channel down below. We also have a merch store, so go check that out. There's a link down in our bio to this video. So go check us out there. We're actually re-releasing our trophy season shirt. So we're adding the Gold Cup to the back of it. So now that the summer's complete, make sure you check that out before the new season begins, or whatever. And yeah, we got some other cool things there. So go check us out. And yeah, so I guess, Pat, now that the new season's starting, that's just more opportunities to gain experience, win some more trophies. Who doesn't like that? Everybody likes that, Austin. I mean, I'm just so excited, and more just to update to the merch store, right? With all the exciting activity going on here, and more jerseys to get, right? With players transferring and making exciting moves, and it just seems like all these chess pieces, everything's kind of coming into place, right? To put themselves, hopefully, on that final roster to win that glorious trophy one day. That's right, and that is one day we will win the World Cup.